So, hello, how's everybody? Um, I have just realized that YouTube, in your report history, it only keeps track of reports made about individual videos. Now, a lot of the reports I made 2 years ago, 7 to 15, I would say, were made about the channel. Um, because the whole channel, a couple of channels that I was reporting were defaming, libeling, using my copyright, etc. And and so I just found out that a man that goes by the name Rob Motto was behind a YouTube channel, is behind a YouTube channel called it's called Todd Schultz 80. Hold on. Todd Schultz. It says my name, Todd Schultz. That's and then it says Todd Schultz 8858. I'll put it in the live chat. So I just reported this channel, and it's not in my report history. I mean, you would think it would be, right? You would think that report history would have a history of your reports. So why would it not have a channel report? What purpose does that serve? I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine any. It doesn't seem to serve any purpose. And uh I wonder how many people have been basically fucked because what they did was report a channel. They reported the channel, and then YouTube. I mean, where do those reports go? I mean, I'm gonna find out, I suppose. Um, I've been placed under great duress by YouTube's policies, or their lack of enforcement. So I have evidence that says that YouTube strictly enforces their policies. Strictly. Now we know that's not true. That's not true. They do not strictly enforce policies. They enforce them on a case by case basis at best. And perhaps it's because there's so much stuff on YouTube, but then there's no warning. So when you go to live stream, there's no warning. There's no there's nothing to tell you you might get cyber stalked in here. And another thing they don't report is your reports in your live chat. So how can they call it a report history when you've reported things and then they're not listed in the history of your report history? I mean, the answer is it's not functional. It's not, uh, I honestly, I don't know what YouTube is thinking. I don't know what's going on there. I, I am a very novice civil pro se litigant in a civil case. I'm very new to it. I don't have any experience, and it's not easy. And in a sec, I'll be right back. So I've been subjected to a long campaign of defamation. I'm not sure if extorted or blackmailed is the right word. I was told that if I ever spoke about my trauma or the person that caused it, that they would have to defend themselves by editing and posting videos of me, which typically doesn't make any sense because as a, like I'm defending myself right now. This is how you typically defend yourself, is by defending yourself, not by attacking others. Uh, I've been given leave to amend um, my complaint, and I intend to include these details that YouTube does not keep track of channel reports or username reports. Um, and like when you see a channel that's being used to fucking hurt your reputation, you report the channel. You're like, I'm not gonna report every video. That's like that's a lot of work. Like, that's undue burden almost. But also, YouTube also said that they strictly enforce their policies. And then when I've reported videos that violate their policies, they didn't enforce it. So there's a little bit of fraud going on here. There's a little bit of negligence going on here. Um, and I've been significantly hurt by it. Significantly. And that's really the heart of the matter here, is that I have been significantly hurt by the policies that are not upheld by YouTube. And I don't know why. I don't understand why uh, they feel that it's okay to just um, ignore people, ignore their reports. Like I'm not. I can imagine that there's a lot of reports they have to deal with, but I would say most. I don't know. I don't know the true statistics, but I would wonder if most reports are are or most channels are not being reported. That most people uploading content is not being reported. Most of the there are brigades that tend to come and report and report and report. But I would say that most of that content is not. How much? Well, and if it is true that most of it is being reported, well, then there's another problem. The product is untenable. This product is untenable. It's unreliable. It's a sham in a lot of ways. It's a total sham because YouTube has not instated any software or oh, sorry, excuse me, has not instated anything that really helps with and honestly, what really would help is if a YouTube official would, and this might require more hiring on YouTube's part, but would come in to the chats and say, "Hey, we're looking over this," and then with YouTube's immense means, they could deal with these legal problems instead of me. it's imperative that you. That's part of what I want from the suit, from the lawsuit, is I want changes made. I want it so that this is not so dangerous, and dangerous is the right word. I don't want people being stalked. I don't want to be stalked in my live chat. I want the live chat. If I can't get people to come in, then that's one thing. But if there's a flood of people coming in and I'm not able to do anything about, gang stalking, or I call it gang stalking. I'm not talking about people out there. I'm talking about people in here. I call that gang stalking. It's a gang of people, sometimes three, four, five, and they type in harassing things. And the court has found that there is the court has found that I have offered good uh, what's the word? Let me find out. I had a motion. Uh, so some of the things that I've um, submitted to the court have been just wrong. I've not done perfect job. I admit that. Uh, but I have been given motion for leave to amend, because I had sufficient good cause. And this is actually more about YouTube than anybody else. So uh, here, no defendant has been properly served with any pleadings, so no defendant would be prejudiced by allowing leave to amend. For same reasons, it does not appear that plaintiff's request for leave for amend is due to dilatory, which means slow, motive, or like trying to delay, or another form of bad faith. Nor does it appear that the amendment is futile. Now, the amendment that I asked for was to consider YouTube as complicit in conspirators, a potential conspirator in cyber stalking, and a cyber stalker themselves. So if YouTube is allowing it to happen at their knowledge, then they are in fact a conspirator. They are a cyber stalker because it's their platform. They're the provider. If their rules explicitly state they don't tolerate that, and their Twitter accounts explicitly state that they don't tolerate that and that they strictly enforce, well, they did not strictly enforce. That's just not true. It's just not true. And and I'm also, it's a strange world out there. Um, Brett's coming back tomorrow, and I'm very happy about that. And I don't like being alone here. I'm glad that it's gonna be back, and maybe I can start reading again and paying less attention to the. I've got to pay attention to the lawsuit. I'm a pro se litigant. I'm not going away. I'm not going to. I'm not going to let go of my pro se litigant status. Maybe at one point I'll have co-counsel, but they won't be getting a third of my fucking whatever settlement or whatever, and they won't be getting a payment either because I will not fucking hire a lawyer. It is an undue burden on a person to have to hire a lawyer in order to obtain justice, in my opinion. It is an undue burden. It's too hard. It's too much money. It's too much for even wealthy people. It's just too much. No one's counting any chickens. Not sure who that is. Is that you, Michael? I mean, look, I'm going to have all of this unmasked. Every bit of it. Every account is going to be unmasked. I believe that there's a manner in which how to unmask YouTube usernames in court. I believe there's a process. Also, I want to say, like, Robin Eaglesong, stop sending me abusive emails. And in that, I'm saying, you're not allowed to come in or abuse me based off of me saying my truth. Like, that's not like, there's no invitation. You're not allowed to just come in and do shit. And you're not, and this is like, well, who is this? I mean, let's just unmask it right now if I can. All right. Oh, I knew it. 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 It's like sort of like you gotta stop. You gotta stop. I'm going to share it with you, and you're gonna see that it's not that hard to unmask. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Because I never fucking. You know what? Does blocking work? Is blocking a sufficient way to prevent this? It's not. It's not. It is proven time and time again not to be. It's proven that it's not a viable way of preventing harassment. And all that YouTube needs to do is amend their software. And it's scary because I'm not sure if YouTube wants it. No, they did not. No, they didn't. There are no tools. The tools they 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 make me forego my freedom of speech. They make me forego the live chat. If I want to forego the live chat, then I mean, but how am I supposed to cultivate an audience without a live chat? And how am I supposed to cultivate an audience if it's constant toxicity and abuse in there? How? It's impossible. It's it's a faulty product. It's a faulty product. Product liability. There's no freedom of speech to harass people. Look into it. Look into it before you say that. There's no freedom of speech. And also, even if I do report you right now, nothing happens. There's no record of it kept. There's no there's there's no recourse. I mean, and whoever you are, obviously that's not a real person's name. They're not gonna. They can just create another alias, and another, just like has happened already so many times. I mean, I'm not. I like I said, you know, it's just absurd. It's absurd because it's not good for people to be harassed. It's very unhealthy for them. Obviously, it amounted to quite a bit of damage in my case, damages, if you will. And even if I go to Twitch, well, then guess who follows me to Twitch? Reamsey and Omni Eris are the first two people to subscribe to my page. Because why? Because they're stalking my content. They're stalking my internet presence. Even though they know for a fact that I'm suing them and that I don't want them to stalk my presence. I want I want fairness. There's no fairness here. What's the algorithm doing? What is it doing? What is YouTube doing? What are they doing with reports? When they get a username reported, what are they doing with that information? Nothing? Is it going to a human? I mean, is there like an amount of reports? Honestly, they say they strict. I have it on. I have screenshots. They say they strictly enforce their cyber harassment, and they don't. You don't know freedom of speech. Give me a break. Why don't you just do a basic fucking search and find out about if your freedom of speech? Let's just look. I'll look it up for you. I don't want it to be private. I want to cultivate an audience so that I can become successful. No, you don't get to harass someone because you think that their content sucks. That doesn't give you the right to harass them. Period. And you're harassing me. You've been in here enough times. You're harassing me. Whoever this is, you're harassing me. I'm sure it's Michael. I don't know for a fact. I feel like it is. I found out Rob Motto is the one that was doing the channel. Block you then? Okay. It doesn't. First of all, there isn't even a block. It doesn't even say. It says hide user on this channel. There's no block. There's no block. It's absurd. There should be an option to where you have verified users so that you know who is who, so that people cannot come in and then require me to pay the $50 fee to unmask them. It's absurd. I'm sick of spending money on this fucking lawsuit, on all of it. It's unfair. It's unfair. Well, YouTube is a big enough company to be able to help, and they don't. They could probably unmask it for nothing. It was good. And I have been abused on YouTube, and I've reported it. Nothing has happened, which leads me to believe that YouTube is complicit in it. Why wouldn't I think that? What would I think? Did they have too many reports? Well, then, if there's too many reports and they can't handle them all, then what is happening is that they have product liability. That their product is not there. It doesn't work. I mean, or it exposes users to harm. Even if I say something about somebody that did something to me, I'm entitled to do that. If you did something to me and I say it, I'm entitled. Drew Fortune, he's told Brett and other people. He said he was working with Soledad. He said that he was getting advice from Soledad Heron, who has been sending very defamatory, offensive, and otherwise, I don't know, psychotic content. Um, it needs to be shown that YouTube has a faulty product. There's no doubt in my mind about that. It could be worse than that. So upon discovery, we'll see if YouTube like exactly what happens with the reports. What happens with them? That's important. It's important to know. Honestly, we should have known before. There should be more transparency about that because harm is being done and reported, and then also the person that has been ripping my content for years is now, because I struck his channel with a copyright strike, which honestly, I've told YouTube that my copyright was being violated many times, and they've told me right back, we can't do anything without a court order. Okay, like honestly, what takes precedent? What's priority? Is it cyber harassment or my content rights? They're both important, but cyber harassment is sort of like inducing a duress. And so if you're under duress, it's not so easy to think about your content rights at that point. People should not have to manage that many variables. If someone is making a channel to harass you, then a report about the channel must be enough. It must be. If it's not, then what are we talking about? We're talking about a faulty product liability. It's not about them being a publisher or a speaker. They're not the defamer. But honestly, who fucking knows? Who knows? If they get a report and they see some of the harassment that's happened and they do nothing about it, is it a choice? I mean, what recourse do I have? What redress do I have? Am I not supposed to use YouTube anymore? But if I'm not supposed to use YouTube, why? Why? Because it's dangerous? Well, then it's dangerous because it's untenable for people who have a certain type of a personality or like to speak the truth. Candace Owens got demonetized, and you think about it, it's like if she was really being harassing, demonetization? What about booting her channel? If people are being harassed, because she's not harassing anyone in particular. I mean, YouTube is obviously overtaxed. Well, I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe that they might be overtaxed. I don't know. I don't know. They might be overtaxed. They might be willfully allowing certain individuals, such as myself, to be harassed and abused because either they think it's funny, that's possible, or they don't think it matters to them, possible. But it should matter to them because I'm a user. Yeah, there's terms of service. There's a promise to uphold terms of service. A legitimate terms of service agreement is legally binding. Legally binding. Legally binding. YouTube terms of yeah. Content that threatens individuals is not allowed. We also don't allow content that targets an individual with prolonged or malicious insults based on intrinsic attributes. Like what? Like ADHD or childhood trauma? Protected group status or physical traits like health to pay? Hollywood laughingstock? Is that an intrinsic attribute? Or is that not? Is that what and do they intend to argue that? I mean, what is it that they're gonna tell me? What are they gonna tell me? That it's my fault? That it's my fault for being targeted? by somebody who is violating their terms of service, in which I said something because I care. I do care a lot. Also, does YouTube have promissory estoppel? The defendant made a clear and unambiguous promise. Well, what's the terms of service? So if it's legally binding, the terms of service, uh, don't allow content that targets an individual with prolonged or malicious insults based on intrinsic attributes. Well, what are intrinsic attributes? Is personality an intrinsic attribute? Is the truth of someone's truth? Is that intrinsic? Yeah, these are intrinsic attributes. ADHD, intrinsic attribute. Childhood trauma, intrinsic attribute. If a channel or account uh, repeatedly keeps it posting abusive, hateful, and or harassing videos or comments, it can get banned by YouTube. So are they saying it can, but that it might not? The video streaming platform can also ban your account if there's a single case of severe abuse, like predatory behavior, spam, or pornography. Well, it's funny because I reported a video that contained abusiveness towards me, and it was not taken down. And also, how many channels have been taken down? The nature of their promise is such that the only way to avoid injustice is by enforcing the promise. So, legal relationship between existing parties. Terms of service equates to a legally binding contract. So, what are the full terms of service? These are the things that matter in court. I mean, you agree not to alter or modify any part of the service. I don't know how you would do that. Like what? Like you agree to not to access content through any technology or means other than the video playback pages of service. Let's see. Don't lie when you create your account. Tell us immediately when your account has been compromised. Uh, well, don't lie when you create your account. Don't create a YouTube clone showing our content, especially if you earn money with it. Well, I would say that D Live, those things you're earning money with people's YouTube content. Uh, you are not allowed to download videos. Well, that's changed, I guess, because you can download them now. You cannot hold us liable for the videos on YouTube. It's not our fault. You got sick after following that cooking videos recipe. Okay, I don't. Okay. Well, first of all, the majority of the issue is not the videos on YouTube. The majority is the brigading of the harassment in the the live chat. You're responsible for your uploaded content Don't violate copyright laws. Our community guidelines define what we don't want you to submit. If you infringe copyright multiple times, we close your account. Well, it only no, only if you go through the process of copyright DMCA ing, which at the time when I was reporting the channel, I would type in report channel, and there's a space like about 300 words, 300 characters you can write. This is violating my copyright. This is taking all my content. Then they don't do anything. In fact, they got the first amended complaint and they did nothing. They said we have to have a court order. But the thing is, if they got that complaint, that means that they were aware that there was a channel that was using my content, and I'm pretty sure there are no warranties, and we are not liable for anything bad that happens when you're using YouTube. Well, I don't know how legally enforceable that is. I mean, especially when you're offering product. I think where applicable law counts. So if there's people at YouTube that are seeing cyber harassment and they're ignoring it, then there is there is a promise to stop that. And if they don't do it, then what am I supposed to think? Our service commitment to you. So they have a service commitment to me. You cannot just write in a contract that we're not liable for anything that happens. That's not, that's like an unethical tenet. We're not liable for anything that happens. Well, who is? And how are we? If on your service somebody's being maliciously attacked and targeted, what recourse do they have? If you aren't liable at all, then why should you be allowed to continue to operate? The judge, I mean, even suggested that the amendment I made about YouTube, you can look it up on the docket, is not futile, and it's I'm going to amend the complaint further. I'm not sure exactly what I'm allowed to. I don't know if I'm allowed to amend it. I mean, I would love to demonstrate the victim intimidation that has happened, um, which has happened. And I would also like to have these people unmasked. I mean, look, this is like pretty obvious stuff. The only hard part is really following every procedure to the T. It's not easy. There's a lot. It's not easy at all. It really suing somebody is like a complex endeavor. It is not something that you can just do. You can, but it's not easy. But people should be trained. They should know how to do it. People should be able to stand up for their rights. And as a service provider, like there has to be some moderation, especially because they have the means. They have the means to do something. They have money. They can hire people to help. All I ever wanted was help in securing a channel that isn't the target of abuse. And if that means I get 0 people on it, I mean, then that's fine. That's fine. But at least I have a chance uh, where I'm able to, at least in good faith, participate. A single like Michael Thompson, a severe abuse like predatory behavior, I think that that applies to him. I think that applies to the channels that I have reported, which are not tracked in my report history, which I have proof of. Proof. I have definitive proof because I just reported channel and it's not in my history. Yep. Yep. No, they can't. No, they can't. No, I didn't. What about YouTube taking a stand against cyberbullying? How about that? How about YouTube? Uh, what is not allowed on YouTube? Community guidelines. Are community guidelines, they tend to cover what is prohibited, i.e., illegal activity, which applicable law is the only thing, that voids their immunity, and actions can lead to accounts being suspended or permanently deleted. Here's the thing is that it's time to institute technology. There's no reason why on YouTube somebody should be cyber stalked or bullied to the point where that they're depressed. They should have recourse. It should not be so hard. It is so sad to think that how many young people, kids. I mean, like, what if I was like 15? This would have killed me. It would have killed me. The abuse that I got. And who is this Fran Casol? I mean, who is that? It was a Twitter account. Am I okay? Who are you, Mike? Who are you? I mean, who are you to ask? Am I okay? No, I'm in a lawsuit that's really frustrating and really tough. Not fun. I'm okay in some sense, but like it's not. It's been a very rough ride. And I'm in the middle of a lawsuit against YouTube, which I'm using right now. I don't know if I'm even supposed to be, but like, I don't know. I can't. There's so many things that are beyond my control, and it's I don't know. I used to stream, and there was this one time. It was like 4 years ago. I wonder if this was Michael Thompson. Uh, I don't know who it was. Someone like said, "You have a fucking bald spot. You're balding." And I just remember feeling like, so bad. I remember being like, "Oh, fucking hurt. Why'd they say that?" you know. And I remember I was walking on like La Cienega. I don't know. Does my continued use of YouTube make me liable? I don't know. We'll find out. But what about their liability? I know it's limited, but what about their liability? You know? Also, I don't understand why. Like, are you okay, dude? Like, I mean, why don't you just listen to what I'm saying, and then you are you okay, dude? Sounds like concern trolling, which is a tactic that one of the defendants loves to take. Loves to pretend like he's worried about me or that I have bipolar or whatever, this or that. But really, it's just a way to participate in the gang stalking. And what other, like 150 videos basically were removed from Hell to Pay today, from the account of Hollywood Laughingstock. Why? Because they removed all of the YouTube content so that I couldn't strike their channel. Now that doesn't sound good. But like, how am I supposed to get my live streams from YouTube or sorry, from Facebook, and then match it up to the like? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. If these loopholes just need to be taken care of. Honestly, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Any of this. Um, I don't know what I did specifically. To be quite honest, this is my personality. This is who I am. It's hard for I've been thinking like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? And then it's like I called out a bully, and that made me a target when it should have made YouTube aware. There's never an invitation to torment somebody, and litigation is tormenting in and of itself. Why did Michael remove 130 to 150 videos today? I was not reporting it because I didn't want to spoil the evidence. I wanted the evidence there because as a pro se litigant, I don't know the best route to take. I don't know whether I'm supposed to copyright strike 3 times so that they're removed, or whether I'm supposed to preserve it so that it can be seen. I don't know. But I do know that I have a screenshot of 320 videos, and then after reporting a video for copyright and getting it taken down, then that channel must have received a strike. And then they removed most of the YouTube, if not all. If not all. Looks like all. Is this YouTube? Me saying the N word. Give me a break. I was saying it because honestly, I needed help, and nobody was helping me. And I was wondering, oh, if I say this, will people pay attention? They didn't. Here's Reamsey. Uh, this is supposedly the smartest person Bret Easton Ellis has ever met. Not surprising from the guy who wrote White. Mr. Holmes, please have your lawyer reach out to me. I intend on it, and I have. Your participation in it is quite obvious, but it's also substantial and material. Now, I deleted about a year ago. I deleted a lot of my live streams because I thought this was over for a bit. Let's see if I'm. No, no, no. Do not make false claims. Of course not. I don't even know if I'm supposed to even do this. I don't even know if I'm supposed to remove it. As far as I know, you're not supposed to spoil evidence. So I don't fucking know what to do. But I already filed a lawsuit, so my intent is clear. YouTube needs a better product. They need to or they need to fire people who have been upholding uh, abusive content, and maybe arrest those people potentially. I don't know. I don't. I'm not the law. Like I have opinions and I have thoughts. But I don't have. I'm not the law. I'm not the justice. I've called the cops. Nothing. I've called the cops in WeHo. I've called the cops in Kentucky. I've called the cops in the FBI. I've alerted the FBI. The FBI absolutely should take note of Mr. Thompson and his activities. 1,000%. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't. They absolutely should be taking it seriously. I don't know why they don't. But I also know a lot of other people are frustrated, and YouTube is just gonna have to beef up its tools. It's really not that big of a it shouldn't be that big of a deal for YouTube. I mean, it's very possible for them to do. It's not possible for me to use the tools that they have currently available in order to. I mean, what if I live stream because I'm lonely? What if that's why? So, but it's a product that's available to me. It's a product, and I use it, and I get abused, and I report the abuse, and then I ask not to be abused, and then it still comes. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Not use it? So I no longer have access to it? For what reason? What did I do? What did I do? Nothing. Nothing wrong, nothing illegal. I just used the product as it was offered under the guidelines and terms of service that were offered and promised. I'm concerned, frankly, that YouTube is involved in a way that is absolutely untenable. And I don't have much as far as discovery goes. I mean, I'll send my hard drive over, You guys can look through it. I don't believe that there's anything other than porn, maybe, that's gonna give you any give any kind of indicate or I don't I don't know what you're gonna get off of it, but I'll give it to you. I'm not deleting anything, that's for sure. Not I mean, I did delete, like, a year ago, uh, maybe, like, I deleted, all the stuff on my channel because 'cause I'm like, "I want a fresh start," and I thought maybe I could get back on, and then I got back on, and the stalker was still there. YouTube, you should have told Michael Thompson he's not allowed to use your platform. You should have sent him a legal letter. Now you should. Now. Do it now. Honestly, I just want it to be safer. If that's all I get out of this lawsuit, that's enough. It's not enough, really, because I've been caused so much damage, but it's worth it. It's worth it to prevent suicide. It's worth it to prevent teen and young people's killing themselves. Am I gonna be like, why did I ask for millions of dollars? Because I'm an amazing fucking person, I think. And I have been defamed into oblivion. I'm worth it. Frankly speaking. And YouTube has to uphold this. It's just like, remember the spinner things? You know that you pull the string and they spin around. And they have like wings and stuff, fly spinners or whatever. Those were deemed dangerous, and they stopped selling them because they were not there was product liability.